Yes, everybody, welcome back to Talking Wolves. Welcome back to an update video. One normal day of being a Wolverhampton Wanderers fan is what I ask, because this month has been an absolute nightmare. Of course, we've got Emmanuel Agbadou through the door. Since then, the rumours have been so quiet, they've dried up. And over the last few days, we've seen this saga, including Matheus Cunha, really intensify, and we've had fresh and new news today. But to be honest, I'm still none the wiser. I'm going to be giving you guys the latest news, and of course, love to hear your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you haven't already, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you are new. But Matheus Cunha, the poster boy really of Wolverhampton Wanderers at the moment. He has been, whenever you ask somebody about Wolves from this season, Matheus Cunha is going to be the name that they bring up. And since December, really, it's been publicised that Wolves are open to giving him a new deal. There's always been a long-standing interest from some top clubs in the country. And really this month, the interest from Arsenal hasn't really seemed to go away. Although, in my opinion, no one really of note and of a reputable source has really said Arsenal are in there. Arsenal are ready to make a bid or whatever. As an outsider, I don't particularly think Matheus Cunha is the right player that Arsenal should be looking for. But maybe that's for another video, and that's maybe something I could talk about on the pre-match content with the Arsenal fans. But Arsenal are a team that never seem to completely go away, and there has been reports of other sides in the mix. And then all of a sudden, yesterday, it was from Mail Sport that Nottingham Forest are making an audacious move to sign Matheus Cunha. Now, for me at the time, I thought this is absolutely crazy. Forest have been miles better than Wolves this season, do not get me wrong. They're run by a fantastic head coach, which we've had the privilege of having in our dugout before, in Nuno. They seem to have got their recruitment after going absolutely crazy when they first came into the Premier League. They've settled down and they're getting a fantastic hit rate on some of their signings at the moment. Of course they're doing well. Of course they're pushing for Europe, and signings like this would be a real signal of intent for them. Do I think they would pay the money that Wolves want for Cunha? Probably not, if I'm completely honest. I think they are fairly clever with how they approach things in terms of fees. We saw it with Morgan Gibbs-White. They worked their way up to an agreeable fee after starting off quite low. They've done it with Johan Wissa from Brentford this week. Are they going to do the same with Matheus Cunha? So that was reported last night. Today, Sky Sports News now believe that Forest are ready to make a club record bid for Matheus Cunha. Now, Sky Sports believe Wolves would be open to sell at £60 million, which I believe is complete nonsense, to be honest. I think Wolves would be very, very daft and stupid to sell for that sort of price. I think you realistically are looking more towards the £75-80 million mark. Once again, are Forest going to pay that money? I'm not so sure. But again, and from what I understand is that Wolves are half expecting an opening bid from Nottingham Forest today, or within the next 24 hours or so. So again, it'll be interesting to see what sort of fee they come with. Bearing in mind, Wolves paid sort of 45-50 million for Cunha, so it's going to have to be well in excess of that, really. And now we've just seen news, literally as I click record, from Daniel Khan, who is the Midlands reporter, still at Sky Sports, interestingly enough, who said that Wolves still class Matheus Cunha as not for sale and do not want to let him go this month. Which and the new contract was purely to reward him for his good form. So I really don't know what to say, and I don't know what to believe. We spoke about it a lot in depth on our podcast this week, which was actually released last night, and I said I would genuinely be open to selling Matheus if you're going to be getting the player that rocked up to Stamford Bridge on Monday. And that's sort of the concern as we go into the next sort of run of fixtures. And after the next few, sort of from late Feb onwards, are really crucial fixtures to Wolves. We need the Matheus Cunha that we were seeing early parts of the season, and not the Matheus Cunha that we've really seen against Chelsea and in previous games where he's basically rocked up and not looked interested whatsoever. Obviously, the comments from Vitor Pereira could throw a slight spanner in the works and a dent in our hopes to keeping him. But what I hope is that on Tuesday or Wednesday after the game, those two have sat in a room together, sorted out what was said, because ultimately I think Vitor was fine with what he said in regards to the body language, because that was right. Matheus's body language was poor against Chelsea, but he did go on to lead on to other things, which was based on the fact that Cunha went straight down the tunnel, which wasn't 100% correct. So what we need to try and find here is the middle ground of Matheus staying, yes, possibly with a view of moving on in the summer, but he stays at Wolves and gives 110% until then. That's what we need. If someone can come up to me now and shake my hand and say that is what's going to happen, then I would keep Matheus 100%, because he's probably our best opportunity of staying in the Premier League right now. However, if it's going to be a Matheus that only wants to rock up for 25 or 50% of the games, then I think Wolves genuinely need to consider a potential sale before the end of the window. Now, like I said, if they can get 70, 75, 80 million, then great. The main concern here for Wolves fans is that Fosun and the recruitment team have not covered themselves in glory in regards to recruitment and replacing players over the last 3, 4, 5 years. And that's going to be the big if next to this transfer. What if, we sell him and don't get the players in? If Wolves had a real good and steady recruitment process over the last few years, I think a lot of fans would probably be more open to this. But I think the lack of faith that Wolves fans have got in the recruitment policy at the club at the moment is why this deal and situation is so concerning and confusing for people, really. So I would be, I think a lot of this is agent-led by Matheus' agent. I've mentioned this on videos and the podcast before. I think the whole thing with Fabrizio Romano really jumping on it is agent-led. I think the Nottingham Forest deal, ultimately, they would have spoken to his representatives. They wouldn't be registering their interest in putting bids in if they don't think they've got a chance of getting Matheus, which is, telling for me. Maybe it's their way of getting, a ploy to say if Forest are bidding, it might give a little nudge to the likes of Arsenal, maybe Chelsea or whoever that may be interested in him as well to sort of put some bids on the table. But I think really for me, it's which Matheus Cunha are we going to have for the remainder of the season if he stays. If it is the Matheus Cunha that we know that can play and, give 110%, then like I said earlier, great. But if not, it might be curtains for Wolves. But it's going to be interesting. I think there's, about 10 days left of the transfer window. And it's not been the most memorable at the moment. And Wolves still have a lot of work to do. But we'll wait and see what happens there. But I'll quickly check my phone to see if there's any other updates. There's not as of yet. But Wolves, Matheus Cunha, it's going to be interesting last week or so. Where is he going to go? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. At the moment, I'm 50-50. Of course, there were fans and reports yesterday saying he may be more likely to leave the club than stay. There's so many conflicting reports right now. But I think it would have to take an astronomical offer for Wolves, definitely, to move him on this month. As always, guys, be sure to hit the like button down below. Subscribe to the channel. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And fingers crossed it's a more positive update from me the next time you catch a video. But until then, nice one. I'll see you soon.